One to 6, you'll stop. Time for 1, Hunter Lauderdale 19, they stopped in front of the gas station. Which gas is this? I believe they're going to be stopped in front of the Murphys. Pay attention, we're going to be right in front of Walmart's Murphy. Simple.
Last week, President Trump issued an executive order to reclassify administrative law judges outside of the competitive hiring process. Today, approximately 2,000 ALJs decide more than 1 million cases a year. That includes nearly 700,000 cases involving Social Security benefits and protections alone. Many of these cases involve some of the most important determinations that affect people's lives, like Medicare benefits, workplace rights and safety protections, and entitlement to disability compensation. That's why legal experts and advocates across the ideological spectrum agree that the judges who oversee these should be fair, impartial, and qualified. But last week, President Trump issued an executive order that immediately replaces a merit-based system that has worked for over 60 years with new rules that merely require that these judges are members of the bar in good standing. Before this change, these judges were required to have a set of extensive qualifications. They had to have at least 7 years of relevant trial-level experience as an attorney. They had to successfully complete a competitive 6-part examination that includes a timed situational judgment test, a timed writing sample, an untimed experience assessment, a 4-hour written examination. They had to pass a logic-based measurement test, and finally they had to pass a structured interview. The highest scoring applicants were selected by agencies from a list maintained by the Office of Personnel and Management. But following President Trump's new executive order, agencies can give any lawyer the ability to decide whether your mom's Medicare or disability claims will be approved or denied. Did you donate to the Trump campaign? Good news. Your son, who graduated last in his class in law school, can now be a judge. The Trump administration argues that this executive order was required by the Supreme Court's recent holding in Lucia versus SEC that ALJs are inferior officers of the United States. That's not true. But don't take it from me. Take it from the president of the American Bar Association, who referred to the changes as ill-considered and legally vulnerable that gives agency heads unfettered discretion. If you haven't read a letter by the ABA before, those are basically fighting words. In other words, this change opens the floodgates to cronyism and political favoritism in the federal government.
Many in the crowd actually called out the abusively biased press in this country. In fact, many Floridians in attendance let CNN's Jim Acosta know exactly what they thought about his network's partisan, abusively biased coverage. Jim, they're not wrong. It's not false. You're probably watching because you don't watch your own network. I'm going to actually give your network some advice. If you have an open mind and an open heart, maybe a little humility. The people of this country, they're screaming at you for a reason.
The White House has held only 3 briefings for the press this month and 8 total since the end of May. There is no other way to describe what the White House is doing these days. Well, top officials, including the president, are hiding from the press. And Wolf, just to give you a sense as to what's happening right now, you can hear there is a chorus of boos and other chants from this Trump crowd here in Tampa, Florida. They're saying things like CNN sucks, go home, and fake news. Wolf, obviously, all of those things are false. We're staying right here. We're going to do our job and report on this rally to all of our viewers here tonight.
CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN
Everyone knows my husband, Ron DeSantis, is endorsed by President Trump, but he's also an amazing dad. Ron loves playing with the kids.
Build the wall.
He reads stories.
Then Mr. Trump said, "You're fired." I love that part.
He's teaching Madison to talk.
Make America great again.
People say Ron's all Trump, but he is so much more.
Big league. So good.
I just thought you should know.
Ron DeSantis for governor.
Ron loves playing with the kids.
Build the wall.
Welcome to Ontario, you
Where are you at? Well, your breath smells like alcohol. I don't give a f***. You don't tell me what to do in my province. Your province? It's my province. Let's do it. You don't ask me a question. You don't ask me a question here. My If I do something if you do something to me, what? In my province? Why do you do something to me in my province?
Call 911. Hey, don't touch him.
Don't touch him. Hey, don't
Hey, he's drunk, man. Let him go. He's drunk.
Yo, I'm telling you, move. Stay right here.
You can smell him. Follow up. Come on. Take it cool. Chill pill.
a police officer right now because there's a man harassing us.
Here in my province.
Hi, we need a police officer.
If you want a problem,
Security by Jocelyn Perry Kerman on. This man is abusing my brother.
No,
He is touching him. He's pushing him. He's telling us to get
you don't ask me a f***ing question here in my province. Where the f*** are you from? Going here, you're an
He's
idiot.
telling us you don't belong here.
Whoa, hey.
Pushing my brother, my uncle, everybody.
Get the hell out of here. Before I do something to you.
Omar. No physical. Come on.
If I do, God damn. You guys go in, I'm telling you. Go in. Watch, go in. You be in the front. You be in the front. Don't in the back. Don't worry, I'm here. What are you doing, Ashley? No, you have to worry about what I do. Where are you from? Don't worry. You okay, I was born in this crowd. Listen, you were born here as well, right? Why are you guys here, man? Go up there. Go.
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
What are you going to
Exactly. So why are you getting in my face? You started the whole thing. I want to be here. You started the whole thing. That's why I'm not backing down, because you started the whole thing. He started the whole thing. You don't ask me a question here in my province. I grew up here. You don't ask me a question here in my province. You piece of shit. I won't, but I want you guys to be up there. Get the out of here. You don't ask me a question in my province. If you want respect, you give it to me! You don't ever ask me a question in my province! You piece of I'll take you on! Right now!
Please give me permission so I can do something rather than just have a guy spit on me. Can I do something?
You can't do anything because you stirred the whole thing!
If you give me permission, then I will do it. Or else I can't have
What are you gonna do? I'll smash your head in! You stirred the whole thing! You don't ask me a question in my province!
But you allowed it.
I'll kill you!
You allowed us to have it.
You!
If it was self-defense, I already could have done something by now. Oh, listen, if I want somebody...
What? I'm here. Get this white guy.
Oh, buddy, if I want to take a
question.
I want to. Uma just come back. You lucky. I'm good. Get inside. The whole fucking thing. I'm going to be in the back.
Are you in front of me? Please? Thank you. Come in. Sir, you're welcome to Ontario, you
Oh, buddy, I've been in Ontario. All right? I don't get drunk. I don't get drunk. I just walk around.
I don't believe in you.